My name's Ian Kane and I'll be the project lead. I have extensive experience having worked in Europe, lived there for 4 years, worked in Middle East and now living in Calgary. We have assembled a dynamic team here in Calgary with international experience and will draw upon our colleagues in Europe to deliver a rapid 30, 60 and 90-day plan and identify quick wins.
I'm James McLean. I'm one of the leads for our operational effectiveness practice. In terms of kind of role on the project, I'm bringing kind of subject matter expertise about operations in Europe, particularly around value chain. So I worked in industry with Unilever and the SC Johnson business for a number of years with value chain responsibility for a number of their operations in their B2B marketplace.
I think I understand a bit about the European way of doing business. I also led our international tax group for 5 years, so I understand international tax quite thoroughly. I've worked in 3 different offices in PwC, here and in Toronto. Also had a chance to work in the UK for a period of time.
For most of the last 15 years, I've worked exclusively in the technology industry. I lead PwC's industry group, technology industry group in Alberta. And so my principal role on this assignment is to make sure that we are bringing the best of the firm to smart technologies.
I'm Randy Watt. I lead our finance effectiveness practice in the Calgary office. And our finance effectiveness practice works with the finance area of organizations to not only improve how the finance group runs its shop from an efficiency and effectiveness point of view, but also how that group better supports the business units and the operations of the overall organization.
I've worked on departmental reorganisations throughout Europe and Africa. So I've had dealings with trade unions in about 20 of the different countries over there.
My background started in IT, building systems, small little accounting systems, right up to big customer account systems for banks. I moved on after about 15 years of doing that into advising IT management and business management on the best way to deliver on their information needs.
I'm Ivan Williams. I'm a partner in the Global Tax Solutions Group at PricewaterhouseCoopers. Been with the firm for 17 years, the last 10 years with the Canadian firm, prior to that in New Zealand. And I work a lot with companies looking to expand internationally and in particular looking to set up tax-efficient international structures for them.
My role on the project is going to be from an administration and support role in terms of bringing our people together. I think when we bring our firm to these large-scale projects, it's critical that we're poised ourselves to deliver rapidly and to help pull together a very quick 30, 60, 90-day plan for the client.
We've clearly heard that the SMART team wants a structure that is flexible, that they can implement quickly, that will be seen by their customers and their peers and even their competitors as being best in class.
As evidenced by me being here, having just flown in from London, PwC is a global company and PwC understands working on a global scale, and we have experts in just about everything.
So we've got Richard Gain on the line. Richard's a director in our performance improvement practice in the UK in Birmingham.
Hello, gentlemen.
Richard, any thoughts on best practices on structures that you've seen working in the UK and in Europe?
I think it's inevitable that as we develop a structure for SMART in Europe, that elements of that will be portable. Having said that, we mustn't get carried away with trying to produce a blueprint, a template, which can be rolled out everywhere, because there are differences territory to territory,
right.
And we need to be alert to those. Often neglecting some of those differences causes many of the problems.
Well, that's interesting. Could we make that work here?
There's no doubt that some of what we do for Europe will be usable in other territories, and that we will be able to get, if you like, a blueprint or a template and understand the limitations of that template for its use in other territories.
Where finance can play a strong supporting role in getting this, in identifying the data and the reporting information that needs to get out to the sales guys, it can allow the sales guys, give them the competitive edge actually to get ahead of their competition.
The thing to bear in mind with the European markets is they are a lot more complex than the North American market. There's legislation with regards to working hours, there's legislation with regards to all the sorts of things that you can and can't do within employment practices.
And so I think we've put a team in place, an international team that knows this stuff, that can respond to the information that's going to be provided.
A lot of good experience doing exactly what we're planning to do with SMART, which is take companies that are Canadian companies and help them invest overseas, invest in foreign places where they're not necessarily completely comfortable with the tax implications, with the operational implications.
One of the things I found really interesting about what we heard just in our meetings with Tom and with Alan and with Dean is within Europe there are specific geographic markets that they want to be able to move in and out of quickly. So they see markets moving to a tipping point. They want to be able to react quickly, both in moving in and pulling out and moving on to the next geography.
One of the things we do very well with PwC, the firm, is transfer pricing, which has a huge impact on where your back office is located, what functions it performs, and from a tax perspective, how you can move money from a high tax jurisdiction to possibly a low tax jurisdiction to move money from your international operations back to Canada.
Smart technology definitely has an edge in the market from a technology perspective, especially in the education world. And this must be a huge opportunity for them to expand across Europe with this technology that across North America is seen as the top in education world.
Absolutely. I mean, I know SMART's done a lot of research into the number of classrooms and the number of accessible classrooms, and obviously there's huge potential given the lack of market penetration in Europe to expand.
Our culture is really compatible with SMART's. One of our core values is sharing and collaborating. We're not going to consult and do this to you. We work with the clients.
It's all about timing. It's all about constantly reassessing, it's a constantly changing environment. So you have a plan, but then something changes, so you have to change the plan because you've always got to be on the spirit of what's happening within the project and within the organisation.
Our framework methodology is tried and tested. We've done this many times before. It's multifunctional, so you get the most from our firm. It's scalable to meet your needs, and participative, so that it is sustainable in smart technologies moving forward.